What's up guys, Jamie Grace here. Thanks for watching this video. There are two really popular questions that I get in my Instagram DMs. I've tackled this in podcast episodes as well as on my Instagram, but I wanted to do a longer YouTube video about it. The number one popular question that I get is, how did you know that your husband was the one? That is gonna be a totally separate video and we're gonna try to answer that. I won't get into it now. But the second one is, how do you get over a guy that doesn't like you back? And we'll talk in another video about like breakups and stuff like that. But this is specifically speaking in the context of like when you like a guy that you haven't necessarily dated, or maybe you did go on one, maybe two dates with, but essentially he just doesn't like you back and there hasn't necessarily been the opportunity for you guys to actually have a relationship. It's just either obvious or he said something or he's not saying anything at all. Whatever the case may be, how do you get over that infatuation, or how do you get over that crush? There's no cookie cutter answer for this, and I know that's sometimes really frustrating to hear because it's like, no, I need a step-by-step plan. Like, that's how I am. I need to write everything out and have a plan, but there really is no plan for this. I mean, there are things like time that are different for every person, but time really can help a lot. Distance can really help, just not being around them. If you guys used to go to the same school, now you don't, and that can help a lot because you're not seeing them as much, summer break or whatever. Time and distance and just prayer, that works for all the things. But I wanna also speak to some smaller things that a lot of times we don't realize how small things actually do take effect in our lives. We think it's always just the big stuff, like, okay, I need to move to another state, or I need to go on a vacation to another planet or something. I need to be far away. I need to have 5 years of time. Like, we think of the big stuff a lot of times, but let's focus on some of the small stuff. One, might sound silly to some of you guys, but some of you guys will relate to this. What is his name saved as in your phone? If he's saved in your phone as anything. A lot of times he might have like lowercase spelling, special spelling, a couple of hearts, maybe on your Snapchat. He's got like an interesting name with emojis or something like that. Change all that. If his name is John Smith, proper capitalization, make his name John Smith, because you're not trying to have a romantic concept about this guy in your phone. Just make him John Smith in your phone. No exclamation points, no emojis. Keep it simple. You're not trying to have a crush on this guy, so stop acting like you're trying to have a crush on this guy. The second thing is, if this is someone that you're going to see in person, don't make it a point to spend an excessive amount of time around them. Now, I'm not saying to avoid humans and just, treat them like they are the worst humans on the planet, but you don't have to try to sit next to him. You don't have to try to laugh at his jokes, try to talk to him, try to be near him, or, go out of your way to go say hi. Like, oh, I don't want to be rude by not saying hi. You don't have to say hi to every person that you meet. Like, have you ever been to a big city like New York or Atlanta or Minneapolis? If you try to say hi to every person that you meet, ain't nobody got time for that. So no, you're not obligated to go walk on him and say, hi, how are you doing? You don't have to prove to him that you're over him or prove to him that you're nice and polite. Be nice and polite by not beating people up. Like, that sounds like such an extreme, but you don't have to make it a point to like always be around him. Just trust me on that. The next thing I would say is just limiting your communication. Sometimes young girls will tend to still like someone's photos on Instagram a lot, comment a lot. You don't have to do that. You're not obligated to comment, because it was one of your friends in the picture and it'll look obvious if you don't comment. You're not obligated to do that. You're not obligated to follow him on social media. You're not obligated to be friends with him on social media. If you're friends on Facebook, you can actually unfollow him without actually defriending him or unfriending him. You're not obligated to follow people on social media, because what could happen is one night, maybe at 10, 11, 12, you're falling asleep and you end up scrolling through someone's Instagram that you really have no business scrolling through. And it might just seem like a mindless scroll of seeing what someone was doing in the winter of 2015. But what you end up doing is taking your mind on this kind of imaginative roller coaster, or just putting that memory in your brain, and then 2 days later you find yourself thinking about oh, his vacation with his family in Colorado looked like so much fun. You don't need to know about his vacation in Colorado with his family. Get off of his Instagram. Stop following the guy. Just no. Another thing I want to say is accountability. All of our friends in our lives serve different purposes, and I like to think that I'm a friend in my friends' lives where I can serve multiple purposes depending on what's needed at the time. But we all have those friends that we go to when we're like, oh, this guy's getting on my nerves, and we want them to be like, yeah, he's the worst. Then we also have those friends that we go to where we're saying, oh, this guy's getting on my nerves, and they're like, are you being nice? Is that a kind Christian thing to say? we know what friend we go to in certain situations. All I'm saying is be wise about the friends in your life, and you don't have to tell 4, 5, 6, 12 friends about this, but 1, maybe 2 wise friends that you know will hold you accountable for not liking all his stuff, commenting all his stuff, screenshotting all his stuff, following him around, laughing excessively at all his jokes, drawing his last name in your notebook, whatever it might be that kids do these days. You know that you've got that friend that's gonna tell you, get yourself together, you need to get over this guy, I love you, I'll be patient, but I'm not gonna watch you self-destruct. And you gotta be intentional about letting those friends know what's up, and maybe not so much your friends that, like, there's a guy that he's already in a relationship and your friends are like, well, maybe they'll break up someday and you guys can get married. She doesn't need to know about this. You need to be intentional. If you really want to get over this guy, you gotta be intentional with wanting to get over this guy, because if you do want to get over him and you're not being smart about that, it's not gonna work. Anyways, those are just some basic day-to-day, like smaller tips that I would recommend, that I would suggest as far as getting over a guy. I hope that was helpful. You can check out my podcast, the Jamie Grace podcast, formerly called Wait It Out, formerly called Team Single. I'm not single anymore, so we've made some adjustments to the title, but I hope you guys will check it out. We do daily podcast episodes and oftentimes about this kinds of stuff. If you guys have any more questions about dating, relationships, or friendships, life, love, music, tacos, any of that stuff, leave it in the comments below and I will, so pregnant. I will try to answer those questions for you. Also, I don't know if you guys can tell with the lighting, but I spilled food on my shirt earlier. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter at JamieGraceH. I would love to keep in touch with you guys. Click on the screen to subscribe. Turn on your notifications by clicking on the bell so that you can know when I put out new videos once a week, sort of. All right, I love you guys much. See you soon. I miss you already. Bye.